Hello.
Hello.
We're in the washroom.
This is the dirtiest bathroom I've ever seen, and we went to the same secondary school, so you know how dirty some washrooms can be.
Yeah, this is exactly the sort of place a celebrity might be caught in a compromising position.
Oh no! Please don't take a picture of me leaving this bathroom.
Yeah.
They're going to turn this into a nightclub. Is I think the gist of the this job.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's why we're cleaning it. I think is because they want to turn it into
well, I
a nightclub.
suppose enough people were having sex in it already. Might as well go the whole hog.
Yeah, exactly. So the more astute viewer will know that we take a bit of a break, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we took a bit of a break because, for lack of a better phrase, Ben's been a sad boy.
Yes. Yeah, I've suffered from a pretty bad depressive episode. So I've been off work for almost 2 weeks. I'll be going back next week because I don't want to spend any more time away. But I've not been doing too well at all, frankly. I've made some progress this week. Last week I went and got
Good.
some meds. The nausea has gone from
Well, that's
those.
helpful.
Good. Cleaned the kitchen yesterday. Had a
What, not with
shower.
mine?
No, had a shower.
Okay.
So that's good. Shaved my cheeks, my face cheeks.
Not your
Um,
ass cheeks.
no, they're still disastrous.
They do need doing.
Yeah,
I've heard.
I know you keep saying. Um, Yeah, I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, and I'm gonna trim my beard a bit tomorrow, and yeah, but I've been sleeping a lot and feeling like crap, and playing some Pokemon, which always helps. Um, but yeah, not a great couple of weeks. Um, you
Whereas
can
I've just been plodding along.
tell how bad it is because I we don't really miss these, do we? Unless
No, it's normally like major global things going on, like Christmas.
yeah, or we record in advance to cover us or spread the videos out. But
You there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Uh,
Yeah, it's normally stuff like Christmas going on that makes us miss it, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
I didn't know what to do with my Thursday night. I was there and I was like, oh, well, guess I'll play a different game. Actually, I did consider if I hadn't had a bit of a cold, I was considering doing knocking out three Formula One videos quick,
that would have
so
been all
that
right.
A would get through it a bit series a bit quicker, and B, so that we didn't put stuff down. But
You
so other
didn't
than that, but
don't even
I was feeling shit, so
don't need me at all, do you?
I don't need anyone really
Yeah,
ever. I'm a very self sufficient individual.
yeah.
You're all just people that I deign to have around.
Lucky us.
Yeah, know your place.
Yeah.
Speaking of knowing our place, we're now up to 61 followers.
Oh joy.
You
That's
say that like you don't appreciate the fact that it's growing still.
I don't know why.
Well, why you don't appreciate it, or why it's
Why
growing?
why it's growing.
Oh, I don't either. I haven't got a fucking clue. People with uh, even worse depression than you, I should think.
Thing about channels like this is that you don't subscribe to them. Or you shouldn't subscribe to them for the specific games because we changed the
Yeah,
game. You need to do it for the personalities involved. And
and you haven't got one, so
my concern would be that they're subscribing because they are into Formula One or Call of the Wild or whatever.
if they're into Formula One, I am not the right place to.
And yeah, we're not going to touch those again for a while, potentially. Well, you'll finish Formula One at some point.
Yeah.
Move on to the
We're over
next thing.
halfway through the series, so
Joy. Mm,
maybe it's Hitman that's done it.
maybe.
Although you had that comment, that trio of almost identical comments on your Nightfire videos, didn't you?
Yeah, I can't even remember what those were. I don't think they made any
Something about
sense.
something about it being like a CBS show Survivor.
Oh yeah.
They've assumed that Survivor created the team deathmatch.
Well, also that's only relevant for the multiplayer game, and they've put that on all three videos. Only one of
And you
which is
didn't
the
do a multi.
multiplayer.
Oh, you did multi, do you? I don't
Yeah,
remember you doing
my
multi.
controller broke partway through.
Oh, okay. So that well, you remember these things compared to me.
Uh,
I live them. I don't need to remember them.
you'll change your mind when you're old and grey.
Bold of you to assume I'm going to get old.
Well, you'll probably be all right.
Well,
Mm,
well, for what it's worth, and I know you don't need me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. For what it's worth, I'm pleased you haven't killed yourself,
thank you.
and that is the nicest thing you're going to hear from me today.
The nicest thing I've heard from you since you let your guard slip and said I was like a brother to you.
Yeah, I mean, you reacted so negatively to that,
Well, I was just
but
a
I
bit
learned not to say nice things to you.
taken back. I'm not.
Wasn't your reaction like or something?
Maybe,
I feel like it.
possibly.
Yeah, that's a very mean thing to have done at the time. But I'm
Well,
not going to beat you up over it because I'm sure I did at the time.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, good. You deserved it.
Well,
But I'm over it. Mostly over it. I'd be over it a lot more if you didn't do it.
mm,
It's
mm,
probably the nicest thing I've said to you this year.
yeah.
I know it's early days still.
Well, no, you said. I think in the last one of these, you said that because you share music. Um,
Oh yeah, that's
mm,
that's part of my love language, but not like romantic love, just
plus
brotherly, if you will.
platonic love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as named after who?
Socrates.
Oh, you and your wit,
Yeah.
lacking as always. I see.
Mm. Uh,
Speaking of Socrates,
yeah.
I've been playing a new game recently.
Is it Civ?
No, it's not Civ. I'm not playing Civ 7. I'm not buying it because A, I can't justify the financial cost, and B, the sixth Civ game, the one I already own and have been playing recently, I literally cannot play it now. It will not let me play it.
All right.
Um, I can't end my turn or um, like tell it to build buildings. I can move troops around, I can settle cities, but I can't build anything in the cities, which is a
Mm,
fundamental part of playing the fucking game. So I'm gonna wait until they do a patch. Well, actually, I only installed it, so
mm,
it's been broken for a while. The fact that they've brought out a new game and the old one's still a bit broken, especially on multiplayer, tells me that I'm not gonna do it. They're
mm.
not gonna fix 6 now because they don't need to. They're making 7 come out. Got to choose your losses, haven't you? And I'm gonna wait a while before I even think about buying it. So no, no, not Civ. Would you like to hazard another guess?
Uh,
Socrates does actually exist within the realms of the game, so it wasn't just a ridiculous.
I don't know. Hemlock Simulator 3000? What is it?
It's Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
All right.
which is the Greek one, as it were,
Yeah.
and I'm really enjoying it.
I'm glad.
Socrates is a bit of a dickhead in it, but from what I gather, that's on par. So
Well,
that's on course for him. So.
speaking of the Odyssey, they're making Christopher Nolan's making an Odyssey movie.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Attack of the Clash of the Titans, or whatever it was.
No, it's an adaptation of the story.
Jason and the Argonauts.
No, the Odyssey.
You know what? I'm just saying shit because saying shit. I
Yeah.
don't know much about the Odyssey other than it's about a really long journey home
Yeah.
that most of them die on, named after the sole survivor.
Yeah.
Which seems a bit unfair, really. You'd think you'd name it after someone who survived,
He,
who died.
he was the most important person.
Oh, no wonder he survived.
Yeah. Yeah, I read it
But
for classics. It's the greatest story ever told.
said who?
Me.
Oh, well, what do you know?
Yeah,
You probably like Coldplay and voted for the Labour. You
I
weirdo.
didn't.
No, you did the Greens, didn't you?
Yeah, I voted green.
How do you feel about that now? After the fact.
Good.
All right, then. Happy days.
I voted as my conscience decreed.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
There we go. Would you like a funny topic?
Oh, we finished with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh no, carry on then. Sorry.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
The premise is that you are, I believe, if I've understood what I've sort of occasionally skipped through properly, I believe that you are Leonidas's grandson
Of course.
or granddaughter because you can play male or female. But I went male because I was worried that if I played female, I'd end up getting horny. So you know, it's better not to.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, it hasn't helped, but you know, still.
All them,
Uh,
all them thighs on display.
oh yeah, exactly.
All them.
I assume you know who Leonidas was.
Leonidas was the Spartan chap.
Yes, at the Battle of Thermopylae,
Yeah.
which is obviously a very famously recreated event from the movie 300.
Yeah. And one
I've
Dalmatians.
not seen. I've not seen that.
Mm.
With or without a Dalmatian, but I have heard mixed things.
Mm.
I feel like it's one of, from what I understand of what I've heard of it, it's one of those films that's okay in the grand scheme of things, not overly serious, and is a bit memeable,
Yeah.
which is fair enough, really. Um, but it's a nice story at the end of the day, isn't it?
Mm. Well, I mean, they all
That's-
lost and died.
yeah, but I mean, they fought for, they died for their freedom. Then it's like the
Yeah.
Great Escape in that sense.
Did they all?
Most of the Brits died in that.
Did they?
Yeah, it's one of the most ridiculous things. A lot of the Brits get killed.
I've never
But
seen.
Steve McQueen, the regular prison breaker, he gets put back in prison, doesn't he?
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's a real depressing ending. I wouldn't bother watching it.
Oh, I thought it was a
And
Christmas
you get the
classic.
bloke who accidentally says thank you to the German in English, and it's like, and he has to run and he gets shot, and so sad.
That's not
So
how
sad.
I
But
imagined that film. I thought it was a fairly wholesome morale booster at Christmas time about chaps who escaped prisoner of war camp.
oh no, they did escape. They just got caught again.
Oh, that's a bummer.
The vast majority of them get caught again. I think there's only like 5 survivors or something.
Mm.
And most ridiculously, some of the ones who survive, fucking, they're on a rowing boat and end up in Holland.
Huh.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they're in a rowing boat and end up in Holland.
Well.
Don't know how they got to Holland from wherever they were, but
Mm.
yeah. Anywho, you had a amusing topic.
Well, yes. There's a Michael Jackson biopic in the works.
Oh great, who's playing him?
I don't know, but the entire third act of this film is apparently centered on the Geordie Chandler molestation case, right?
Oh okay.
And now I don't know how much you know about that, but Geordie Chandler was a kid who accused Michael Jackson of molesting him, and it was a whole court case. Michael Jackson, I think, paid him off, right?
Yeah.
Um, now I think they finished the pre-production of the film, all the filming and stuff, and then it was pointed out to them that in the Geordie Chandler settlement suit, one of the conditions was that they could not use that case or anything to do with Geordie Chandler in any sort of movie.
Oh okay.
And they finished all the all the filming for it.
You
So
feel like that'd be the sort of thing that they'd have checked before.
yeah, some sort of studio legal department might have looked into that, but apparently not. So now they've got to figure out an entire new third act for this Michael Jackson biopic.
Have they? I mean, if they're doing a biopic, is half the film him as a black man and half him as a white man?
I don't know, because that was
Because oh yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I remember that a while ago. Do you remember that? There was like a they were making. I don't think it was a movie, but it was like part of a series of weird celebrity stories. Because after 9/11, Michael Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor, and who's that actor who was in Marlon Brando?
Mm,
Um, sort of went on the run because they thought the world was ending and went on like this weird road trip,
mm.
and they had to keep stopping because Marlon Brando got hungry. And that was something that was in the works. It was going to be played by Ralph Fiennes' younger brother, I think.
Oh, Colin.
No,
No, but he should be a Colin, shouldn't he?
I can't remember. But yeah, there was some debate because he was going to play it like in blackface. I think I can't remember.
I mean, that's what mainly why I'm asking, because I mean, what do you do? Do you get a white person to black up, or do you get a
Yeah,
black person to white up, or do you cast two completely different people? In which case, you need to get two people who vaguely look like Michael Jackson, right?
yeah. I guess I don't know. I don't know. It's
Because
tricky.
it's not very often that you can get away with blacking up or whiting up, right? I can only think of one movie
Yeah,
where it hasn't been heavily criticized,
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder,
Because
and it's because it's it sort of makes sense.
well, I'm not familiar with Tropic Thunder, but I'm given to believe that the whole point of that is that he's an actor who thinks he can play anything.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
more of a comment on the studio system or something. On that
Yeah,
time.
he's an Australian who is so method actor that he blacked himself up, like
Mm,
for real, because he doesn't stop playing the character until he's finished with DVD commentary.
mm,
And in, but apparently the DVD commentary has him in character,
huh,
which is I mean, it's a ridiculous film, right? It is an absolutely ridiculous film, but I do like it.
huh. Are there any penises in this wall?
Probably. Why are you looking for some?
Well,
You want some? Are you looking for penis?
it just doesn't seem that accurate.
Oh God, God! Please tell me that you haven't had some sort of depressed, get out of depression sex.
No,
Oh, thank God for that.
why?
I don't know. I'm worried
Why would that be such a bad thing?
because it never ends up helping in long term,
No,
does it? Let's be honest.
no,
No, it doesn't end up helping, or no, let's not be honest.
no. It doesn't end up helping.
Okay,
Ah,
I worry about you. You know,
I haven't, as it happens. Not even occurred to
oh,
me
you,
to
oh,
try.
good. Well, good. I'm sorry I gave you the idea.
Hmm,
I will look down upon you if you do it. More so than usual, to be
that's
clear.
that's all right. Mm, 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 mm.
5.5 weeks till Formula One starts.
Lovely.
Can't wait. I'm gonna have to, obviously, but can't.
It's the nature of time, isn't it?
It is. It's the bastard that. But yeah, we don't actually have any F1 topics this time. Yeah, I do. I've got one, so you'll have to look forward to that.
Okay.
I've got a proper conversational one for you that I would like to get a series of thoughts from you on.
Okay.
I think you'll appreciate this. Two, actually, but we'll do the first one. Can you think of? Oh, are there any movie series that come to mind when you think they've made just too many of these?
Yes.
What comes to mind for you?
Well, Halloween.
Yep, that's
Probably,
reasonable.
probably no reason to make more than one of those, frankly. Um,
Yeah, I think one and done makes sense.
Probably the vast majority of horror films, you could argue.
Yeah,
Um,
the ones that I've got written down are horror films.
yeah.
One is much more prolific than the other in terms of quantity.
Jaws,
How many Jaws did they make?
Or
Four. I mean, four's a lot for Jaws, but it's not a lot for a movie series.
how many times can it happen?
Well, I mean, continuously happen.
That being
I want to see Jaws from a perspective of a shark.
one of their ideas for the third one was going to be called Jaws 3 People Nil. And the gist of it was that it was sort of a meta take on it, a meta comedy
Okay.
take on it. So the shark from Jaws was hunting down people involved in the making of the first film. Apparently,
Okay.
the opening scene was going to be Peter Benchley getting eaten in his swimming pool.
In his swimming pool.
Yeah, I think Steven Spielberg was like, no, you don't. I think he came down hard on that. I think the second.
Why? I mean, you got to be honest. There's a potential for
Oh
that.
yeah, I'd have liked to see that. I think Jaws 2 has some potential as well because so much of it is the sheriff or Chief Brody. He is regarded as a hero, and then people keep getting eaten, and he's obsessed with the idea that there's another shark, and everybody writes it off as just trauma. And I thought that would have been an interesting thing to run with if they hadn't have shown the shark in the opening scene. You could have had this whole
Oh,
thing like,
yeah.
is Chief Brody actually just obsessed at this point? Is he just a traumatized man? You know,
You do better by never showing the shark rather than barely showing the shark like they did in the original.
when I say well, when I say they show the shark, they confirm that the shark is a thing in the second one
Yeah, yeah, no,
right
that's what I
away.
mean. You just don't confirm it
Yeah, just have
at all.
two divers go missing. I don't know what it was. It was probably a boating accident, or maybe they fucked up or something. But no, it's definitely a shark, and Chief Brody's right.
What you do is a third one where you do it properly, but in 3D.
They did it in 3D.
I know that's
Oh,
that's
and
Jaws 3 in it.
yeah, I like the setting for the third one because that's in like a SeaWorld type place, and they've got those underwater tunnels, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But the shark looks shit, and 3D is distracting. And then you got the
yeah.
fourth one where it's in the Bahamas, and
And he just cannot catch a break.
well, the shark kills one of the grown-up kids right at the start in Amity, and then the mum
Mm.
moves to the Bahamas, and the shark follows her.
Oh, of course it does.
It's yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of, have you got anything more to talk about with these? What else is on your
Well,
list?
well, I was thinking that the Saw movies got a bit out of hand in terms of how many there were.
Mm.
They're making Saw 11 now.
Are they really?
Yeah, or
Well,
as they call it, Saw XI. But obviously, we can translate Roman
it's
numerals. Saw.
probably set between 4 and 5 or something. I know.
Yeah, from what I gather, it's a continuation of Hoffman being the copycat jigsaw protege person. I tapped out after three. I've seen bits of some of the others, but three was the one that made me say, you know what, no, this is. And the reason why is because the premise of three is that it's the guy who's going through the games, as it were.
Yeah,
The guy who's being tested. His he's grieving
the
his kid having died in a car accident,
yeah,
which no one went to prison for. The guy got off, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, that changes things a little bit. When it's genuinely bad people that are doing shit and they're being, you can sort of, you're meant to sort of see both sides of it there. I couldn't for a third one. I just couldn't do it.
well, I know there's one with an insurance guy,
I think that's the fifth
but
one or sixth.
I mean, Jigsaw always struck me as that philosophical justification is bullshit.
Yeah, but for me, I it was always bullshit, but it sort of, the third one cemented the idea. Actually, you know what? Fuck this.
He was just a bitter guy who wanted to
Some
kill
some people
people.
shouldn't be targets of such shit.
Mm. Well, speaking of
Oh God, I
well,
lost you. I need
spe-
you to
yeah,
I need you to reopen the thingy because I've lost it.
that's all right.
They're making another movie as well, which very briefly I want to mention.
Well, it might be on my list too. Go on, what is it?
Final Destination.
Yeah,
Oh, was that on your list?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw this because I saw what looked like a video game advert, and it is in fact an advert for a movie. It looked like a video game to me, the quality of the footage.
All right.
The bloke, the tattoo bloke in the
Yeah.
bar, and I'm assuming it was a bar.
Well, I think it's his studio, isn't it?
I wasn't entirely sure what was going on
Well,
because it
it's
was
a,
a bit.
well, I saw this on Reddit. It's a tattoo artist in his studio, and he
Hmm,
opens his phone and looks at a picture of a guy who's kissing, and I thought, oh, that's his boyfriend. But then he starts writing "dad" on his arm,
hmm.
and then Death's Rube Goldberg. The machine starts
Crank it up again.
cranking up, yeah.
Yeah.
And he ends up burning to death. But
Yeah.
I like the Final Destination films.
I saw the. I think I've seen them all. I like the fact that the fifth one's a prequel.
Yes, that's a good twist.
Yeah, it works well. It cements the whole causal loop thing.
And there's nothing in there on rewatch where you rewatch it back and it's like, oh, yeah, the phones are old and everybody's got pages and oh yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's not the sort of shit you'd
Well,
notice the first time round, is it? Most people.
they do this thing in that film, which is a real problem with horror movies, where they add an extra rule. And
Yeah,
if you kill someone, you get their lifespan.
yeah.
And presumably that only works if you've escaped death. Because if you couldn't, then surely like every serial killer on Earth is gonna live forever or ages, right?
Well. I mean, you say that. I mean, there's this thing, isn't there, that because it's their lifespan, the reason one of the people dies because the bloke had an aneurysm or something, or
Mm,
was had a tumor and he was gonna die in a few months anyway. And then that engine falls on the bloke that, you know.
yeah.
So
Uh,
it's more complicated than it's a silly rule. I will give you
it
that.
is a silly rule. It's not just get rid of it. It's just the only reason you watch those is you basically know what's going to happen. I know you got to keep it fresh, but we watch it for the
For the gore.
Wallace and Gromit style deaths. You know.
Yeah, pretty much. It's nice to it's the misdirection on some of them is always good.
Mm,
It's like how are they going to actually die here?
mm,
And trying to work it out.
yeah. It can be quite tense as well. I mean, there's a gymnast.
Yes.
That's real.
Jesus, yeah.
Yes. It's yeah. I like them. It was originally meant to be an X Files episode. I think
Really?
yeah. I think yeah.
All right.
But I don't know why it was rejected because they just couldn't
Too
figure out how to
gory.
weave it in or you know.
Have you seen the tagline to this one?
Oh, it's Final Destination Bloodlines, isn't it? So
Yeah. It's a ridiculous fucking tagline.
death runs in the family or something.
That is exactly it. Death runs in the. What a fucking stupid tagline that is.
uh, well, it's gonna be the children of people who have died in previous Final Destination films. One imagines or something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be what it is, isn't it?
Mm.
I can't wait to see Sean William Scott's kid.
Which one was he?
He was in series. He was in, it's like series. He was in the first one. He's the one who got killed by the bit of train.
Oh, he's yeah.
Like just a ridiculous fucking character to because of course he's the one with the kid, right?
Because he's Stifler.
Well, exactly. He's the last person you'd expect because most people would have forgotten he was even in the damn thing. So
Mm.
of course he's going to be in it.
Mm.
Speaking of
Yeah.
people that shouldn't necessarily be in things or be part of things, Matthew Lillard is returning to.
That's another thing on my list. We're the
Is
big
it?
movie news recently, isn't there? But yeah,
Well,
Matthew.
it's coming up to award season, isn't it? So it's
Well, it's
you know
summer blockbusters getting them out. Yeah, Scream Seven. Matthew Lilliard. I couldn't remember his name, so I just wrote Shaggy guy.
it's Lillard. There's no Lily. It's
Lillard. Lillard.
Lillard.
Yeah, he's coming back to Scream inexplicably. Maybe as some sort of hallucination or something. I don't know.
He's having a renaissance, isn't he, at the moment? Because obviously he was in what do we call it? The It's the one with the animatronics.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's the one. He was in that, wasn't he?
He was, wasn't he? I forgot about that.
And he's having a bit of a renaissance at the moment. It's good to see. Obviously, he worked with the love of my life,
Yes.
who is currently on my desk on on my calendar that I got. Yeah, good old Linda. But yeah, he worked with her, so
Linda,
immensely jealous.
Linda Cardiovascular. Yeah.
I'd like to see her cardiovasculars on something like that. Wait, hang on, no, that suggests I want to gut her open. I don't. Adindu, if you're watching this, no, I don't. I'm not a threat.
Hmm.
The only thing I'm a threat to is your marriage. I assume she's married. I haven't checked. Anywho, yeah. So he's having a renaissance. It seems a bit weird to have him in it. It would have to be a flashback again, or a hallucination or something.
Oh,
He died, didn't
probably.
he?
That's another
That's what
sin. What they did with who? Sorry.
with the other guy that was a killer in the first one. Spoiler alert.
Oh, does he come back in another one?
He's a sort of he's someone's parent in 5 or 6, and
Oh yeah.
she's sort of living with the fact that she's got the same situation that Leia should have had with Vader in the sequel trilogy, in the whole living up to the fact that she's a serial killer's daughter, and trying to deal with that fact whilst all these other murders are going on. So obviously people are suspicious of her,
Hmm.
that sort of thing. You know, it makes sense. It does make sense in context. How they'll shoehorn Matthew in, I don't
Did
know.
Hayden Panettiere survive her first film in that?
I don't think she. Have you seen it?
I think I saw her up to Scream 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hayden was the killer.
I'm pretty sure.
From
Oh God, only knows.
from what I remember, I feel like she was the killer.
I don't think she was the killer in that one. I think there was a scene where she looked to have died, but nobody was quite sure whether she did or not.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna Google it.
That's another franchise that I don't even think you only needed the one for that. But I mean, certainly.
Oh, interesting. Oh, it was. Uh, she wasn't in 5. I think she was in 6.
4. She was definitely in 4.
Was she?
Yeah, I think.
She was in 6.
Was she?
Yeah. Oh no, she was in 4. She survived 4.
Hey,
She's in 6. Oh no, she plays the FBI person, doesn't she?
does she?
Yeah, she plays an FBI person.
Does she join the FBI then after?
I'm assuming so. Where is she on this? Oh yeah, Hayden Panettiere plays Kirby Reed, a survivor for Woodsboro murders in 2011, who is now an FBI agent.
Good for her.
I don't know if she survives it. Uh,
I've been
oh
watching. Oh, sorry, go on.
no, she kills someone.
Oh,
She smashes a TV set over someone's head, killing them.
reference.
Yeah,
Welcome to
because all
prime
these things are
time, bitch. Yeah. I've been watching a fair amount of old Coronation Street episodes.
because of your upcoming video.
No, because of my depression. And
Well, it could have been either, or to be fair.
yeah, one of the things I noted is the prices of stuff. These episodes I've been watching are from 1977.
Okay,
Character buys a bottle of wine,
cost them an arm and a leg.
and because it's 1977 and winter discontent and inflation and everything, there's often remarks about how expensive everything is and how the price of everything has gone up. I want you to guess how much this bottle of wine costs. This bottle of wine that is expensive.
£3.50.
£1.63.
Jesus Christ.
It was something like that. It was £1 something or other. But yeah,
They were living like kings.
yeah.
setting it.
Um, yeah, somebody brought over. Rita got married and went on a honeymoon, and one of the other characters who runs the corner shop brought over like essentials when they got back, like bread and butter and bacon and milk and things like that and eggs.
How much do we owe you? £5.
It was about half that. It was like 2 quid.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And look, we're not stupid, viewer slash listener. We know how inflation works. We know that's probably worth like whatever it is today. But it's just hearing it, you think, Jesus fucking Christ, that's pittance.
Yeah, it really is.
You'd be hard. You could probably buy. You'd be hard pressed to buy more than 2 items in that basket for that nowadays.
Well, a loaf of bread will set you back £1.
Yeah, I mean
More.
milk is can be what 115, 125, something like that.
Yeah, it depends how big a milk you get, but if you're getting
Wow.
a 2 pinter,
And bacon,
then
Jesus, don't get me started.
yeah, Kevin just keeps putting his prices up.
Yeah. What?
Kevin Bacon.
Oh, you know I went to sixth form with someone who was in an ad with Kevin Bacon.
I feel like I have heard this story before.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was what it was. What does he do? O2 or something like that? Orange.
EE.
Yeah, yeah. She
I don't think
played.
EE and O2. Sorry, EE and Orange are connected in some way, but
Yeah, she played an air hostess in an EE ad.
uh, did
Um,
you like the way she dressed?
I don't know.
He
Um,
hates to fly, but he feels much better.
um, yeah, that's busted, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So technically, we have. Um, I have 2 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, or one, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, one because it's for one person.
Yeah, and you have two.
Yeah.
That's your
But
bacon
actually,
number.
what you don't know
Yeah.
is that it is too. Yeah.
Uh, Well, speaking of films that have a lot of sequels, we're getting a new Jurassic World movie.
Scarlett Johansson's in it, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I know about this there was a really long trailer advert thing on one of the videos I started watching whilst I was having my tea,
Mm.
and I thought, "Fuck this, I'm skipping."
Well, I watched it because I like the Jurassic Park World films, even though I haven't seen the last one, or most recent one. Um, yeah, the plot is, I think it's another island, or it's Isla Sorna. I don't know, but there's a medical breakthrough, and they need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs for it, which is a fucking stupid idea.
Yeah, well, tell that to the people who are making these movies because they ain't gonna fucking listen.
You just need an excuse to get people on an island to be eaten and chased by dinosaurs. So you
Well,
fuck
I
it,
mean,
hand
how
wave.
common knowledge? I suppose in Jurassic World, it's quite common knowledge about the dinosaurs, isn't it?
Well,
Because
it's
it's
very.
a functional theme park, isn't it? In the first one.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's remarkable they're losing money because everybody's so used to dinosaurs nowadays,
Mm.
or profits are down
So
at least.
so you can't have people stumble across islands by accident
No.
as a premise, but like if people stumbled across islands that they didn't realize was about islands,
Mm,
you know, or it's like the sister island where they've got the whatever. I don't know. It's more workable than sci-fi MacGuffin.
yeah. I don't know. Just have a passenger plane crash land on it or something.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll absolutely do.
And crash land in the middle of this reserve. Nobody knows we're here. Dinosaurs
Um,
everywhere.
what you do is you don't even reveal necessarily that it's a Jurassic Park film until halfway through,
They.
when out of nowhere someone gets eaten by a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, I mean, I like that, but you could never. I mean, you could obviously never do that. It's such a shame.
You know that bit in Deep Blue Sea where Samuel L. Jackson's mid speech and he gets nabbed by the shark.
Yeah.
I'm thinking something like that, but better done.
Yes.
Because it's as long as there's an embargo on it being revealed as a Jurassic Park film, you could make it last at least until it hits cinemas.
Mm, mm.
And because then automatically you've got the holy fuck, that was a Jurassic Park film. That wasn't just you know plane crash film. But some people are going to go and watch. All of a sudden, You get fucking, oh my
Well,
god, it's Jurassic Park. Word
you
of mouth will do all the marketing for you.
you'd have to have an InGen or Jurassic Park. You'd have to have a moment where characters are in like some sort of building while the guy who's going to get eaten is doing their thing elsewhere, and you cut between the two, and one of the characters sort of turns around and shines the torch on the Jurassic Park logo, and sort of maybe a music sting, and then your guy gets eaten. It's like holy shit, they're on a Jurassic Park island.
Yeah, workable.
Yeah.
It is workable.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, I'm not done me bloody. Not close my rings. I need to wave my arms about. Yeah, so they make. I've seen an advert for that. I mean, I don't need an excuse to watch a film with Scarlett Johansson in it.
Well, I'll probably I'm tempted to sort of wander down and watch. It might be a bit weird if I went on my own. But
Well, it is needs must and all that.
could always wait for it to come out on video.
All Prime.
Or Disney Plus or Netflix.
Yeah, whoever it is that's got it. Let me just start crossing some stuff off because Oh
Mm,
no, I haven't got anything else to cross off yet. Cool.
mm, mm, mm.
Um, the other one of these that I wanted to talk to you about with a more extended conversation.
Yeah.
It's a Lord of the Rings conversation, but it requires you to look at a picture.
Okay.
So I've sent you the picture.
Let me look at the picture.
I got that still myself. You got it?
I'm loading up. Okay, for the purposes of the tape, it's a screenshot of towards well after the ring is destroyed in Return of the Jedi.
Son of a king.
Yeah,
Let's not confuse people.
there's all the ground starts falling apart and the orcs are falling in it and running away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you will see from that particular bit of that screenshot that I've got for you,
Yeah.
the land where the heroes, the humans, the good guys, the elves, all that lot,
Mhm.
is that is still safely, firm, or
Yeah.
it seems it at least. And there's an old load of orcs that are running away.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are those orcs not just turned around
Because it's
and finishing
scary.
this fight? No, but look at that. Look at that and tell me that they wouldn't win that fight.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely. But
Sheer numbers alone, they'd probably win it. But when you consider the fact that they've got an enemy who literally can't retreat because they'll fall into this pit,
mm,
which at the very best case scenario for them has a load of injured but very violent orcs at the bottom of it waiting for them. Right?
yeah.
The true story of this is Sam and Frodo are stuck on there. They get picked up by the Eagles and Gandalf while this fight's going on, and there's no one left to come back to.
Well, what you're forgetting is the orcs aren't very clever. This
Some of them aren't.
the volcano has erupted. The ground is falling apart. They're getting the hell out of there. They don't give a shit anymore. Sauron's just blown up right in front of them.
All the more reason for one of them to take command and become the new king of the orcs.
Well, no, they don't. They don't work like that.
Well, you mean the race of creatures that are constantly power struggling over each other because they want to be the one in charge?
Yeah.
Do that. Wouldn't have someone try and step up.
No, not in that moment.
Well, I just think it's a bit silly. I was thinking about it because this whole Assassin's Creed thing has got me thinking about the 300 thing,
Mm.
and it made me think of this because in many ways it's a very similar style of fight
Mm.
available there. Rather than it being a narrow pass, it's actually a peninsula, if you will, at this point, really,
Mm.
almost. And it seems silly. Like if I was an orc in that circumstance, I'm telling you, we've won that fight.
Mm.
You don't even need all. You could do it with less than half as many orcs would be able to deal with that.
Yeah, I agree. But it makes
They're
sense that
fools.
they're running away because
Well,
it's scary.
see what happens to those orcs afterwards, because we know that there's a gap there where the humans and the others, predominantly humans, because of the way it works, are they're not chasing them. So these orcs get away presumably,
Yeah,
cause havoc another day.
yeah. I guess it goes back to like minor raids every now and then. Aragorn probably has to deal with incursions, and they probably fight amongst themselves a fair amount of the time. But they're not all unified anymore. It's just a rabble.
You get one orc who's like, I want equal rights. I want to look. I did what I had to do to survive in Mordor. Let me help. Let me build. I want to be a builder. I want to put meat back on the menu for the boys.
Yes, I want to open a B&B.
Yeah, Bagginses and Bogginses.
Yeah.
But that is a serious thing though. What is the reconstruction plan like for?
Well, this is something George R. R. Martin flagged up. Not that I think it's a
Oh yeah.
justifiable complaint, because Lord of the Rings isn't like a serious, real fantasy history type thing. It's more of a,
Oh yeah,
it's a
sure.
myth. It's Beowulf. It's the English Odyssey. That's why Tolkien wrote it, because England had no myth.
Apart from
Um,
Arthur.
what?
Apart from Arthur,
That's
had Robin
Welsh.
Hood. All right.
Well,
Still.
modern England had no myth. Put it that way. There was no
Okay.
great epic like Beowulf or the Iliad or whatever.
Okay. Fair enough.
George R. R. Martin asked, kind of tongue in cheek, what was Aragon's tax policy? Was there a genocide against the orcs after Aragon came in onto the throne? You know,
Well, I mean, I'd hope not, but realistically, probably yeah.
well, I don't know, maybe you get nobles just riding out going orc hunting.
And speaking of ethnic cleansing,
Oh joy.
shall we touch on the big news story of the week?
What's that?
Well, this is the quote unquote plan with the Gaza Strip.
All right, is this as Trump basically said you can do what you want, or we're going to take over?
Have you not heard this?
Like vague. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks, man. I haven't really been keeping in touch.
Well, I noticed that the fact that this is the first time we've done this in 2 weeks, but you know the the fucking it's a big story. I'm surprised you missed it.
What did he say then?
Well, he's basically said, get all the Gazans out, and the US will take it over. We'll rebuild it, and we'll make it the quote Riviera of the Middle East.
Oh God, I hope you like uh, shitty
Yeah,
casinos and. Why do I feel like this is going to go the same way in Cuba went?
you'll have to elaborate.
Well, Cuba was like a play holiday playground destination for the American rich in the 50s,
Mm. Oh, okay.
and that's why you got the communists taking taking over, because it was people were starving, but American rich people came over to gamble.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's what'll happen on it is you'll give reasons for people to get to feel oppressed, and then they'll start acting on it.
On account of the fact you're oppressing them.
Well, yeah. But no, he wants to move all the Gazans out. He wants to let Israel do the fighting. Have Israel give the land to the USA so that they can get other people, presumably the Middle Eastern countries like the UAE and all that,
Mm.
to um, to go ahead and rebuild it and then turn it into the well, yeah, Monaco by Israel.
Ugh.
I know, right? What fucking. Thankfully, basically everyone is saying no. This is a bad idea.
Well,
Even us, we've. You can say a lot of things about our prime minister and his, his attitude towards certain things. He is at least opposing this. He's not even trying to pretend it's a good idea. I've not heard Farage comment on it, so I'm assuming he's actually stayed relatively normal on this one.
Or maybe.
Because it is as I said at the start, it's ethnic cleansing.
Mm,
You know, it's a thing, and not a lot of people in mainstream media are calling it that, but that's what it is.
mm.
Um, so yeah, it's not good.
No,
That's for
it's
sure.
not. That's the official position of this channel. We are anti-ethnic cleansing,
We are,
unless otherwise
but
specified.
what you should do is remember to separate your whites and your colours when you do your washing.
I've never done that.
I never do that either. It's a waste of time, but apparently you're meant to do it.
I've
That's why all my white shirts have gone
I've never
grey. Okay,
suffered
and that's
any
fine.
repercussions whatsoever.
My
Mm,
white shirts go a bit grey,
yeah.
but I don't care. There's nothing wrong with a grey shirt. As long as you're not wearing a brown shirt and becoming a Darcy guard, you're all right.
God, you've gone very left wing, haven't you?
Have I?
All this Nazi bashing.
Oh, God forbid. God forbid I be opposed to the Nazis.
It's just a bit, you know, it's not like you.
What? Do I normally sympathise with them? Is
Well,
that what you're suggesting?
yeah, it's just,
There comes a point where you need to stop pandering. And I never necessarily pandered to them, but I didn't necessarily get quite as vocal as I needed to.
mm,
Oh, I've just found the gnome.
it was in the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important sometimes to slap a Nazi.
That's the only way
And
to
the fact
deal
that
with them.
Australia have made it illegal to do there's mandatory prison sentences now for doing a Nazi salute.
Yeah.
So I desperately hope Elon Musk goes there and then gets immediately arrested.
It's kind of insane. I was listening to a podcast recently, from a podcast called Behind the Bastards.
Oh yeah,
Basically deals with fucked up, terrible people from history, and let's look into, who they are and recount what they did. And there was an
okay.
episode they did about how conservatism won. Um, and I would highly recommend it because it was kind of depressing, but also really interesting.
Oh okay.
I think basically they had what do you call them, think tanks.
Mm.
They talked about like their use of think tanks and how if you want proper information, you can go to like you have to pay for it, but they set up like free think tanks. So if you're a journalist, you just go and take stuff from them. Um, I'm not explaining it very well, and I can't remember a lot of the episode. I just know it was really interesting, and there was one on Rush Limbaugh
It's
as
a
well.
way of them controlling the narrative, I assume. It's through
Yes,
that.
I mean I think the issue nobody really they're really good at this because they don't have the same degree of morality that people on the left do, right?
Mm.
I think there's an attitude on the left that, well, our ideas are right. They're for the good of really everybody, the vast majority of people. If we present them, people will read them, and people have common sense will prevail, and as low if we get our ideas out there, people will see them and will be convinced. And that's incredibly naive.
Yeah, because historically people have not.
People are
You
pretty
know,
stupid and selfish and
a bit of stupid.
prone to emotion-based thinking. And we're really bad at acknowledging that on the left because I think we have a pretty rosy view of people in general. We need a left-wing politician who fucking despises people. We need someone who knows that people are shit and knows how to work them. You know?
Yeah, work that shit.
Yeah.
No, it's a depressing state of things, isn't it?
It's just, I mean, they've been very successful. Very successful.
I I saw a thing where someone was joking about time travel and
Yeah.
how they're not convinced that time travel isn't possible.
Uh,
Um, because the argument is always, oh, well, if time traveler came back, they'd have killed Hitler or whatever,
yeah.
right? Um, but that doesn't account for the possibility that a time traveler may well, in fact, be a Nazi,
That's true.
and be very pro in favor of dear old Adolf
It's like there's that
Hitler.
Harry Turtledove alternate history novel called Guns of the South, where a Confederate in the present day goes back to the Civil War and gives Robert E. Lee a whole bunch of AK-47s.
Hmm. You know what? There's a game called Kingmaker
Mm.
that's coming out soon. And the gist is that you are a redneck who goes back in time to save or to fix something, and you are in medieval times with modern day military equipment.
Oh, sort of like a Confederate Yankee in a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court. It's
Sort
just
of, yeah.
Mark
And
Twain.
it proposes the potential to be quite an entertaining game to play at some point.
Mm.
Because what could possibly be more fun than tearing through a load of armor clad knights with MG42s? Exactly.
What's a cistern?
It's a bit where the water goes before you flush the toilet on a toilet. So the tank, as it were. We must have quite a bit left to clean. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus! Right, light switches. Where the lights? I didn't even know there were light switches. Where are they? Oh, there's one.
I'm waiting for my cistern to start flashing. Mm. Do you know what
Light
I'd
switch.
like?
What's that?
A Westworld that like works as a tourist attraction.
Like a real world one.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Where would you? What historical place would you like to visit if a Westworld existed?
Probably Rome.
Yeah.
Safe, safe bet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Greece would be interesting. Really enjoying Greek stuff at the moment.
Mm.
Now, what would you go with?
Probably Rome.
What about you, dear viewer? What would you go with?
What?
Which historical period of time would you visit if you could?
I have a
I mean, I know it's
question.
technically the premise of the question you asked, but it's close enough. Go ahead.
Why are we cleaning this place if they're going to turn it into a nightclub? Surely they're going to tear it all down.
No, but it's going to be a toilet themed nightclub.
Seriously.
Yeah, I think that's the. Pretty sure that's the gist. Oh god, no, the door hinges. My arm hurts. Ben, my arm hurts.
Well, I know what you could do with it.
Oh, not that arm. The other arm. I don't need both.
Really?
No, I. No, I don't. I don't need both.
Huh.
Despite the rumours. No, you know what my issue is. I know exactly what my issue is.
What?
I got the weights out yesterday.
Oh, right. Good. You're aching. That's a good sign.
And my arm hurts.
What are you lifting?
It's not a massive amount. It's 6, I think it is.
All right.
But it's a one armor. It's a dumbbell rather than like a
Yeah.
proper thingy.
I can't find the cistern.
No, 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 no. Oh, it's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one. Absolutely certain it's this one
Why?
because the thing doesn't look quite empty. All right, stop. It's this one.
I wasn't even looking at them.
Well, why would you? Cistern pipe. Yeah, cool. I assume we're only doing the one cleanup today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Cool. I approve. We've got a lot of stuff to get through in the other departments, so you looking forward to Attack of the Clones this weekend?
Um. Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, it occurred to me that I don't mind talking about the prequels because I can rip into them and really because there's a lot of very obvious issues with them that you can talk about. You know,
Do that.
and you get to see Natalie Portman's midriff.
Yeah, that's basically the only part of that film. Oh, and that one when she's in the black number that she absolutely shouldn't be wearing around her pubescent or late adult, early adult guy that shouldn't be getting attached to people.
Mm,
I saw a robot chicken piss take of that scene,
mm,
in which she is basically like doing the splits in front of him, and
mm,
she's being very visually flirty as well as just wearing that somewhat provocative outfit. Um, and no, I'm not trying to blame her because of what she's wearing, but it is a very provocative outfit.
yeah, it's almost like
But
she's
isn't
trying.
it isn't overly
She's
appropriate for the relationship that they're meant to be having.
she's a fucking tease.
But I do like looking at her, so
Mm,
fucking sue me. Oh, actually, no, I meant to say something about the Gaza thing. I just remembered.
yeah,
Do you remember an episode of The Big Bang Theory in which Sheldon recommends or suggests building a new Jerusalem in the Mojave Desert?
vaguely.
That's a thing that came to mind during this whole Trump Gaza situation, because
Debacle.
that's what like the idea that he just wants to build a new Gaza,
Mm,
a new Palestine, and leave it at that. Which I wouldn't be surprised if he'd had just seen that episode and
uh,
decided, yeah, let's say that, let's do that,
mm,
because it's the kind of shit he'd do. Cubicle door frame. Here's one. Here's another. But yeah, no, that's something that came to mind, and
mm.
I wanted to share with you. Do you know which wall it is?
No,
Oh, it's two of them. Fuck's sake, which is it?
it's not flashing up.
This one is. There we go. There's this one. There we
Uh,
go. We did it. Oh, it's from your perspective, not from mine.
there I am.
Oh, God. There you go. He's going to turn it into a nightclub.
Huh. Okay.
What?
Okay. I guess. Yeah. All right. Well, next one's the Helter Skelter, but we'll leave that. But thanks very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us, everyone. In
Bye.
case you didn't. Bye.